Excuse me a minute. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it sure was. Yep, I remember. Yeah, I gotta go. I got a video to do, but I'll talk with you real soon, okay? All right, thanks now. Bye-bye. Hey, everybody. Sorry for that little interruption. I was just speaking to the 80s there. We were talking about how much simpler life was at that time and how the world has changed. But enough of that. Welcome to my newest series, a GenXer Navigating the 2020s. This is the first entry into this series, and this one is about technology. And needless to say, technology has changed quite a bit in the past 40 years. Things come and things go, and they come and go very quickly. So I want to talk a little bit about some of the difficulty people in my age group may have with this modern world when it comes to navigating technology. So where I really want to start is with the concept of obsolescence. And obsolescence means things wearing out. Years ago, when products were made for many years, whether it be a phone or a refrigerator or a car, things were basically built to last. They were built to last decades usually. I think I'm telling no secrets when I say that's no longer true. The refrigerator I have in this house, my wife and me just replaced last year. Due to supply chain issues, it took about 8 months to get it, but that's for a different series. We'll get to that when we get to the political series. But that refrigerator has been in this house since we bought it in 1992, and it served us very well. We also had to get our stove fixed, and when that was original when we got the house too. And when the repairman came in, he told us about how much difficulty he has with some of these modern appliances, you know, the smart refrigerators and smart stoves, etc., getting parts for them and how frequently they break down, and how these older models usually there's not many problems with them. They're just made better. And I got to thinking, you know, like, as quickly as we're forced to adapt to technology, like, is it really worth it? I mean, like, if things were made to last years ago, why are we in such a hurry to call something worn out or obsolete now? I'm a creature of habit, as most of you know. When I like something, I stick with it. But years ago, I'm going to go back to late 70s, early 80s, when there was a new technology, we were usually given a decent amount of time to adapt to it. I remember when we went from these to these. Remember these? These were some of the first cell phones. I think they call them a brick phone. You can see why. Okay, but while we used these for probably 50 to 60 years, maybe we used these for about 10. Then we went to these, and finally what we have today, which I can't show you because it's so technologically advanced, I'm filming this video on it. And by the way, probably in the amount of time it took me to make this video, my Android has gone two levels behind, and I'm probably way behind in updating it. Of course, I'm being facetious, but it's not that far off from the truth. By the time you learn a new technology, it's usually obsolete. Got some other stuff to show you too. When we couldn't take our records and tapes with us in the late 70s and early 80s, they came up with what? The boombox. Okay? That was too big. That was too big. You didn't want to be carrying that everywhere. So here we got the Sony Walkman. And nowadays, of course, everything's digital. But everything is changing so quickly, it's hard to keep up with it. And I think for us, my generation, who was brought up that things, you get things and you keep them and they last for 10, 20 years, keeping up with all this new technology that's changing what seems like daily is a very difficult thing to do. Like I said, I'm a creature of habit. I'm a believer if it works fine, we don't need to do anything with it. I guess that's a fault of mine, but in some ways it's good. Look at cars. I mean, I remember my best friend, he had a 60 Plymouth. He ran over a stop sign at Plymouth, and it did a lot of damage to the stop sign, but his car was fine. Okay, you barely touch a stop sign with what the current cars are made out of, and your car's total. So they're just not meant to last the way they are. And there's a discussion that should be had about that. That's for a reason. You know, companies build things that break easily or don't last for a reason because, hey, if you bought a car in the 50s and it lasted you 15 years, you weren't doing any more business with Chevy or Ford for 15 years. Now you go out and buy a Nissan or a Kia or even a Chevy or Ford, and you're buying another car in 6 or 7 years because they're just not meant to last longer than that. My issue is with people that think this is a good thing. I know we want to be up to date on all the great things that are coming up and the new things down the pike, but I mean, financially, is it really good for us? I think what happens, and I was thinking a lot about this with people my age and older, is, you know, I believe technology literacy really kind of effectively stops at a certain age. I think back to my parents, and you know, my parents were brought up in the area of radio and then TV, of course, and then I remember, you know, how much difficulty they had learning the converter box on a television set. And then when we finally got a VCR, they finally learned that. It took a while. And then eventually DVD players. But here's what I know. At some point, the new technology they were willing to learn ceased. It stopped. My parents never got a computer. They never got on email. You know, they never got on social media. Of course, my father's deceased now. But my mother won't touch text messaging. It's almost like at a certain point, you know, at a certain age, we kind of just shut down as far as our willingness and ability to learn technology. You know, I've experienced that to a degree myself. I mean, I've been a video game person since, you know, late 70s when I got my first Atari back in late 81. I had Atari. I learned that, okay. ColecoVision, you know, Nintendo, PlayStation. But even with PlayStation, I got to about a PlayStation 3, and that's as far as I can really effectively feel comfortable navigating. You know, the PlayStation 4s and 5s and such, I can't figure them out. And I'm not embarrassed to say so. So, what's the whole point of this? Well, the point is navigating the modern world, right? Just talking about ways in which, you know, my generation, and I don't think I'm unique in this respect, has difficulty with some of this stuff. So, I liked it better back then. You know, you had time to learn new things, and they lasted. So, that's the message for today. Hold on, I need to make one phone call before we get off of here. Hang on. Remember this sound? I'm dialing my old phone number from home if you're curious. Hang on one sec, guys. Yep, I said I would get back to you. Yeah, I'd definitely like to do that. So I'll be in touch shortly, okay? Take care now. Bye-bye. Just calling the 80s back. Just let them know. I really would appreciate maybe going back on a vacation sometime for a little while. Anyway, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Remember to watch all my other videos on YouTube. Please subscribe. Tell your friends. Tell people who aren't your friends. Tell everybody. I'll see you soon. Peace.